Very excited for this interview. We're going to be talking with one of the head honchos over at Louisiana Downs right now. We're talking with the co-owner of Louisiana Downs, Kevin Preston. Kevin, thanks so much for joining me today. I've been wanting to talk to you over the last couple months, ever since you came in to Louisiana. So before we get to some specifics on Louisiana, how do you get to the point where you are right now, where you're acquiring some casinos? You have a couple different properties. Tell us a little bit about the process that gets you to where you are, and a little bit some background about who you are.
Yeah, first, as we talked about, man, Gino, I just appreciate you and your time and everything that you've been doing to support us. It means a lot. And we just, we're looking forward to what's ahead. And so we appreciate that. But
Thank you.
my perspective, it's funny. I started off as an intern back at Harrah's way back in the day in 1992. And I'm showing my age, but started there with the first Riverboat Casino. Stayed there for 4 years. Went to the corporate office for 4 years, overseeing multiple properties for Harrah's, none of which were racetracks at the time. And then, as I continued to progress, decided to own my own casinos, and started with my first one in Des Moines, Iowa, with Wild Rose Entertainment. Had a small ownership in that company, which we started from scratch. And then a few years later, sold out, and I became the COO of Tropicana Casinos, and helped them through bankruptcy. That was really why they brought me on, was to help them through the bankruptcy aspect. And then, the bankers who I met during that whole process were like, man, listen, we're going to support you. Do what you want to do. And so, this little casino project came available in Natchez, Mississippi, 13 years ago. And, nobody wanted to do it. No banks really wanted to fund it. And so I was like, listen, if we can do it, it's going to be something special. And so, went through the process. These bankers that always said they'd support me came through, helped us fund that first project. We built it from the ground up. It's been just an amazing ride the last 13 years there. And then, actually 2 years ago, we found out about Louisiana Downs, and sort of took that long to get through the process.
What were some of the things that sort of interested you, or that you heard about Louisiana Downs that intrigued you?
I guess, we sort of knew that the property was, I hate to say the word being neglected, but that's really,
Sure. Yeah, it's true.
Not a lot of capital being spent, really just here sort of running on fumes. And so, we knew that if we came in, and the same culture that we did in Natchez and the other places that we've operated, put some capital into the facility, that we knew that we could really make this thing special. And I think the biggest thing for me is when I first came through and toured the facility and realized how engaging and how much history these employees and team members have here. I mean, you walk through, Gino, and there's these amazing team members that have been here 20, 30, 40 years, man, at one place, you know what I mean? And once they knew that someone was taking over and actually, cared about this property and was going to put money into it, they are just as excited now as they were the first day they started, when, the crowds were enormous here. And so that's really what took it is, you come into a place, sometimes you look at acquisitions and, team members are always worried or concerned or whatnot. But here, man, they were just like open arms. We'd love to have you. Let's get this thing rolling again. And so that's really one of the main reasons why we did it, is because, the team members were engaging, and we knew that if we could, put our culture in here and put some money into it, that we could really make this thing special. So
I got to say, that's one of the reasons why I actually am involved with you, in knowing some people that were around Louisiana and that have been involved in Louisiana racing over the last few years. After meeting with you when you came in and some of the new ownership, they said, Gino, I think this is a place that you would really like to work with. They really seem like they're excited about the future. I think you should try to touch base with them. And so through some back channels, I was able to make a few calls and said, hey, look, I think I can help you out here. And it was just the energy and the excitement that I had heard from everyone else, that you were really wanting to bring the racing back and make this a place to be, make it a place to go with your family where you can have fun. That seems like something that's been very important to you in quotes that I've heard from you, in interviews that I've seen, and just seeing some of the posts that you make. You seem like you're a family guy yourself. I see stuff you traveling around a lot with your family, and it seems like that's one thing you'd like to see at Louisiana Downs.
Yeah, it really is. And, I think that's getting back, that's how I came up. I mean, while I'm not a horse racing guy by experienced. I came up when I was young, going to the tracks in Chicago, Arlington, Balmoral, all the major tracks out there with my family and my dad and everything. And so I loved it. I had the passion for it back then, and thankfully it came full circle. And now, fortunately, we're able to operate this. And the crazy thing is that you're right. I think people just got to get to know you, because we've spent so much money, and what they don't understand from a business perspective is that you come into a place and you realize there's so much back of the house stuff that needs to be spent on IT infrastructure in general, new computers, like everything was just ancient here. And so in order for us to get to Z, we got to start A, B, and C to get to that point. And so everyone's like, oh, well, why aren't you doing this and this? Well,
It's a process.
yeah. And listen, because what people don't understand is that, the horsemen finally have a voice here locally, right? Because we meet with them once a month. And they had some things that they wanted that they never got. So the test barn's redone, the paint, the fixing and repairing things on the backside, the kitchens for the jockeys, which we did. I mean, all the stuff that customers don't see, we did, and we put money into and continue to put money into. So we showed the horsemen, like, hey, we care about you guys. This is the things you said you wanted. Here it is. We did it. Right. And so, it gets to the point now where, with the acquisition, and then, again, slot machines typically 3 to 4 weeks to get, now they're taking 10 to 14 weeks. And so we just started getting those new machines on the floor, which again, we inherited a slot floor that was 20, 25 years old with slot machines that we can't even get parts for anymore. And so
Can't fix them.
no, can't. So, I mean, so that's a thing too. So everything came together. And yeah, while we, truly wanted to do the Super Derby this year, it just wouldn't have been the right thing, because
No.
we wouldn't have put our best foot forward. And we think that with, new slots, with these OTBs, we're opening up our first one tomorrow. We're going tomorrow. We're going to be down the mountain tomorrow to open that up with the HHR machines. We just think that we'll have more momentum next year and more time to plan. And, say what you will. These, folks can say what they will, but we still, are excited about what's going on here. And we know that it's going to be special. And again, today we just started construction on all our restaurants. So it's, it's coming,
And because all of that money from the casino with better machines, that will all help to fund purses. And it ends up being, it's a cycle, right? The better purses bring in the better horses and the better racing. And then that brings better, it's just a cycle all around. The better product is really what it starts with. And one of the things that I think people are kind of not talking enough about is one of the immediate things that you did right away this year was help the bettors. And right away, some of the feedback for some of the wagering menu was instantly changed. A couple people I spoke with, and then boom, right off the bat, in a week, it said, hey, you know what? We're going to change our pick 4. We're going to change our pick 5. We're going to lower the takeout, and we're going to give the customers, the people who play our track every day, you're going to make more money. And that's sort of exactly what you did with the postponing the Super Derby to next year. It's, hey, we have a good group of horsemen that are here day in, day out. We want to make sure they get everything right now. They get taken care of. And then next year we can expand and we can try to lure some others in.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, we haven't even started our concert series yet, which we're starting. So, after races, I mean, there's a lot of things that we still, are going to be doing. And it'd be one thing. It's like cart before the horse. We don't want to start some of this stuff without having the amenities. And so
absolutely.
Fuddruckers here for 20 years, and nothing against Fuddruckers because they've been great for us, but all the other restaurants that they had here were closed and shut down. And so now we're reopening those back up so people can come and enjoy, different types of food and environments that are more conducive to what, a casino should be. So
really looking forward to that. And I'll continue to pass along all the information as we plan for a big 2023 Super Derby. I'm going to have to get out there live for that one, and we'll definitely have a big day out there. So it's probably really amazing for you from where you started as an intern to now with the way that things have been changing in just the gambling landscape with sports betting becoming legal. And that's something that you've seen just in the short time you've been at Louisiana. That feels like something, I mean, I'm a big sports fan too. I think that feels like such an untapped space now that we're finally able to explore. I'd imagine you probably have a lot of ideas of ways that that's going to be able to help the racetrack and have a really nice kind of symbiotic relationship with sports betting and the casino gaming and the racetrack all coming together.
Yeah, and we've had it in Mississippi for a lot longer. We've had it for 3 years now, going on 4 years, and so I could see how it's progressed over the years and just what it will do here. But again, unless we have the amenities that'll go along with that sports betting
A
aspect,
good sports book, big
now
restaurants,
right,
right?
have the window where you can come up and bet. But now, in the next 45, 60 days, we're going to have the comfortable seating in the lounges with the 45, 60 TVs inside there. I mean, it's going to be really, really nice. I mean, all the furniture's already ordered. It's actually here. So, I mean, once the construction's done, it's going to be really nice environment for people to come and just have a total customer experience, whether it's the racing side, the casino side, the sports betting side. We're actually adding, the 50 HHR machines here as well on our casino floor. So we'll have them here as well. So just, the culmination of everything together, it just has to all happen at the same time. And unfortunately, due to the timing of this acquisition, we just, we took it over in November, end of the year, had a shared services agreement with Caesars till February. So February was really the first time that we actually were 100%, operating the casino at that point. So, I mean, we're only 6 months into this, 7 months into it. So, I mean, to have these crazy, standards that some people think, it's just not, this is a business. It doesn't happen overnight, especially for something that hasn't been touched in a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to build. You want to build little
Yeah,
by little and then get it back to where it was. You don't, like you said, you don't want to go all in and then have an event this year that people go, "Oh, well, that really wasn't the Super Derby."
yeah,
What good would that serve for anyone?
right, right. So I mean, you can't win. Either you don't
Yeah.
do it, or you wait, or you do it and you look like an idiot.
Like there was
And
a problem or some reason why it got backed up, but when
right,
really it's just trying to do right by the horsemen and just make sure when we roll a big event out, we do it right. Heck, we had a big day at Louisiana Downs a couple weeks ago. That was a fantastic day of racing. The
right,
field sizes were incredible. We had 6 stakes races on a Louisiana Cup day, and every race had 8 or more runners in there. The
right.
betting pools were big, people were involved. So, what I love about Louisiana is it has everything that all of the bettors would want. We just are going to do a better job now of making people aware of it,
Yeah,
reintroducing them to the product, getting
yeah,
people back out to the racetrack because there's turf and dirt racing, these low takeout. There's a lot of different wagering options. I think everything that a bettor would want, we have in the product there. It's just about getting the word back out again and
yeah,
getting it back to where it was.
absolutely. And I mean, I got you have to give credit. I mean, Bill and McKeever taking the track is just always
It's
phenomenal.
fantastic in great
I
shape.
mean, and Matt, Crawford with the schedules, the racing. I mean, he's got such a great pedigree in this business. I mean, we're so lucky to have him, and of course the rest of the staff, Jennifer and Tammy, everybody that bets back there does a phenomenal job. And so, we're really lucky to have some really, really good team members that have been here for a long time, and sort of now they're getting sort of energized about what's going on and really loving to see what's happening. And just to take it for a step back on the Super Derby thing real quick, but we had a meeting with them, and they're the ones that suggested, you know, holding off until next year. So it wasn't just our decision by
Yeah.
our, we like to do it as a team, and I think that's where a lot of the local horsemen are very engaged in what we're doing and supportive. So
Yep. If it was to be better to have the big purses for the one day or to spread it around for the rest of the meet and to give everybody an opportunity on the day in, day out basis. I think that's just a better idea and it serves so many more people in that sense. So your schedule, I'd imagine, you're in you have a couple different places that you're in charge of. You've got a family. As I said, I've seen some of the posts.
yeah,
What's like a normal day like for you? I'd imagine it's pretty busy. You're traveling all. Is there any template for you, or is every day just kind of different?
every day brings its own journey, man. Like I got in last night. I'm here today. I go to Mound tomorrow for the opening of the OTB. Go to Natchez on Thursday night. Back to Baton Rouge Monday for the gaming meeting for Louisiana Sportsbook. I mean, it's just like it just never ends. But it's you never still like you, man. You like I don't feel like I've worked a day in my life just because
No.
it's great. You're the team members are phenomenal. The customers are phenomenal. What we do is, we're not trying to create an atom bomb or something, right? So we're here and just really taking care of the customers, taking care of the employees, and making sure that the health and safety of our jockeys and the horses are always at the top of the list. So
Kevin, I was just watching the Legacy documentary on Hulu about the Lakers, and I'm getting those feels
Yeah,
here too, right? You come in, there's this organization that had some prestige. It's going to take a little while to get it back to where it was, but I think we can see Showtime again and the Super Derby coming soon at Louisiana. Is there anything else you want to mention before we get out of here? I really appreciate you taking so much time out. I know you're a busy man.
I think that's it. Like I said, anytime you need it, I'm here for you, man. Because we
Awesome.
seriously, yeah.
Thank you. And anything you need out there on the casino side or any help at all, you let me know. Love working with all the people at Louisiana. And it was so much fun getting to talk with you really for the first time face to
Yeah,
face. So, Kevin, thank you so much. And anything you need, you just let me know. Thanks again.
you got it, brother. Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Folks, that was the head honcho over there at Louisiana Downs. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here. We'll have a podcast coming up in just about a day or two. That's what G said. So make sure you download that anywhere you get your podcasts. Plenty more content coming up soon.